Hey, you are now live with Dave Jose. I wanted to come get with you guys a little bit. I said that I was going to do 100 videos in 100 days. Once again, I said if the Lord wills, I'm going to do 100 videos in 100 days. Now, this is something that's super important to me because we got a lot of people who are looking to take things to the next level in many different areas of your life. A lot of us are starting up in new roads and down new roads, in new worlds, doing new things. And a lot of times we need focus, we need help. Sometimes we feel like we need a whole lot when we really don't need a whole lot. And so, what I wanted to do today is come and I'm adding people on. So, forgive me if it looks like I'm looking down. I am looking down. I'm trying to add a lot of people on. But one thing that we have to do if we want to really make it, if we really want to go to a higher level, we have to be able to create a mirror for ourselves. And sometimes we can't really do a good job at seeing what the mirror is trying to tell us because there's a lot of things that play a part in how we look at ourselves. So sometimes we let our fathers or mothers or brothers or sisters or uncles or husbands or wives or friends or whatever interject information into us. And when that information comes into us, we better make dang sure that what is being said is true. If I walk out the house and I see one of my friends and let's say one of my friends had a sword in the car and the sword was sitting through the back seat. So when you lay your back on the back seat, it cuts you. And they didn't realize they had it there. If your friend had a sword that was in the back seat and you sat down on it, would that sword hurt you? What would happen? Would it pierce through you? Or would it not happen just because they're your friend? See, the sword is bad no matter who left the sword in a place that can hurt you. And sometimes we need to identify with ourselves and see what's really going on inside of us. But we have to be very careful when we take the word in of others. Sometimes we get situations where we have people who are jealous, people who are fearful. There's a lot of bad things that can happen in this world. But you can't really hide from this world. You're going to die no matter what. You're not going to live forever. And so if you live your life worried about what bad can happen or the things that might happen, you still might not might not be looking at yourselves the right way. And when you listen to the fearful will tell you not to try, not to go after your dreams, not to love, not to push, not to do the things that seem to be unthinkable. Now, I have to add a few more people on it, then I'm going to get on and start talking and try to focus. But guys, you got to realize that there's a lot of us that are doing some things that other people would not do. And a lot of us come together because we will do the things that others will not do. When other people are fearful and other people decide to be weak and other people decide to not go after their dreams. Hey, Christine, we're the ones who are going to do it. Hey, Kevin, we're the ones who are going to do it. And so we're the ones, hey, Christina, we're the ones who are going to get laughed at. We're the one, and hey, Lori, we're the ones who are going to get laughed at, right? Hey, Mike, I appreciate those words. We're the ones who are going to get laughed at. We're the ones who are going to be looked at as funny because you got to understand when you really want to do champion type things, it's a champion type thing because the other people are not going to put themselves to the test to even try. So people say, oh my gosh, look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan made all these baskets. He did all this work. He kicked butt. He made so many, took so many shots and beat so many teams and had so many championships. Well, that would never happen if he didn't make a decision to defeat the things that are within. And I'm going to ask y'all to be honest with me, because we do amazing things, right? We do things that other people say, oh no, that would never happen. We live lives that people say that's not possible. We enjoy peace that people say you'll never have. Michelle, what's up? Let me know you're ready to rock on. So what happens is, guys, is we gotta slow down and look and analyze ourselves and see if we are putting limits on ourselves. We got to look at our self-talk. Let's just be real. How many of y'all ever have sat down and been, hey, Daryl, and said, man, you know, I want to do this or I want to do that, but I don't know if I'm enough. I don't know if I'm strong enough. I don't know if I'm smart enough. I don't know if I have what it takes. I don't know if I have the connections. I don't know if I have the friends supporting me. I don't know if people are going to love it when I do this or that. How many of y'all have ever had that conversation? Give me a thumbs up. Now I got a little delay. So you ready? Come on in. It's going to take a second. Oh, okay. You're here already. Invite. Okay. I just sent you an invite. See, sometimes we have those conversations with ourselves, and we got to be real, right? Because there's things that we want to do that we never done before. And sometimes in our heart, we start to say, am I good enough? Am I strong enough? Can I make it, right? And the thing is that if we really, really, really look, what's up?
What's up, dear?
How you living?
Making it day by day.
It's good to have you on.
Thank you for having me, dear.
Hey, you want to hear something funny?
Yes, dear.
I was just talking about champions, and I said that there's certain things that you want to do that you never thought you could do. Y'all want to hear something funny? So, remember I said I wasn't going to never be able to grow hair again? Look, it's starting to come back. A little bit at a time. Look at that. I still don't have, like, this part is missing, but a few pieces popped up. Woohoo!
Good job.
Hey,
I can always touch you some and send it to you.
Oh, you see, you got to hook that up. See, then I'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I just cut like 6 inches off, so.
Give me that wavy part down there at the bottom so I can put it over the side like Trump and just knock it this way. You know? You know? Hey, Kevin said, hey. I don't know if you can see
Hey, Kevin. Hi, dear.
Hey, but I was just telling them, you know, I saw Christine and Lawler raise their hand. Sometimes we feel like we might not be enough. You know, sometimes we feel like we're not strong enough. We're not tough enough. We don't have the resources or whatever to accomplish something crazy. And so what I wanted to hit on tonight is your self-talk and being able to realize that we have to suppress some of the things that are inside of us, not out to everybody else, but within ourselves to make sure that we can take stuff to the next level. Let's see what Ty Jackson said. Hi, David, keep on fighting in the best way. Avoiding pushback is the trick. Systems thinking says the harder you push, the harder they push back. Thinking says harder you push back, the harder they push back. Although taking our CPS corruption is entirely something I can't get out of my mind. Well, I'll tell you this, look, some people say the harder that we push, the harder they push back. I say this, screw them. See, I'm from the ghetto, right? And some of y'all know, y'all been through the same things. Like some of y'all who grew up in the country or whatever, and you know, you got the country boys and somebody picking on you and they tell you they gonna beat you up, and then
I'm just a city girl who don't mind kicking your ass.
Well, you look, you go hunting though, so y'all got guns, so y'all got good aim. Y'all can shoot stuff,
I
and you
got
ain't
two, three in my purse at all times. So yeah.
scared. You ain't scared to grab the fish with your bare hands. I'm like, okay,
Oh
that fish was like half the length of your body. I'm like, what the freak is this? I'm like, man, look, I ain't messing with no fish. Look, if you take me to the trout farm, I'm a boss. I can catch a ton of fish at the trout farm, right? See, we can have a contest. I'll go to the trout farm and y'all go to the lake and we'll see who gets the most fish because I can't mess with y'all on this freaking lake dip. I'm not good at fishing, but the trout farm, I feel like a king, you know? But the thing is though, guys, a lot of times these enemies are going to come against you and push hard. And really, it's not about how hard the enemy pushes, it's about what's inside of you, you know? Um, we're able to grow and learn really quickly if you look at the truth, if you look at how things really are. Um, you look at how many people have started standing up in this last year or two. You look at the results that we've gotten. Hey, Chad. You look at the results that we've gotten, right? How many people realize that we've gotten a crazy amount of results in a short amount of time? So, aren't we starting to see cases won? And I mean, I keep saying this:
we're
judges going
yeah,
to
we're
jail.
even getting children home that are being sex trafficked right now. I'm trying to find three. I've got their name, addresses, who the judge is involved, and we're really gaining ground on detail on this information on how to get these kids home. I feel very encouraged is where we're going. The MERS is over.
Oh my God!
Um, they can continue to money launder a little bit longer, but the system is complete. It's over. It's done. I've sent it out to about 30 United Nations, um, and different people. I've sent it to generals, the true president and of the United States, which is not Donald Trump. Me,
Hey, can I ask you one more question?
uh
Oh, you broke up. I thought you stopped talking. I'm sorry. I got one question I wanted to ask you though for everybody on here because I I made the video about fighting what's on the inside of you. So with you, right? I know that you found some stuff that is crazy, and I don't know if everybody even knows. Like, I don't know if all the people on here have heard about what you found with MERS and trafficking and judges and houses. But let me ask you this: when you first started out doing this work, right? Did you ever have any idea that you were going to be able to find all this stuff and knock out all the stuff and get people caught up who were doing wrong that you have now?
I know I have some running. I've had some threats. You know, um,
Everybody share this too.
the people that were involved in killing Nancy Schaefer, some of those people have reached out to me the minute I started talking about MERS. And so I knew then I was dead on. I already knew I was dead on. I've been studying patents, and um, something just kept telling me to go back to MERS. But MERS is important because it's money laundering. It's the way they move goods and commerce through everything. So even when your child gets picked up, you and I, we think it's just a trip to the DHS office or the foster care, and there's this Title IV and Title V funding. What y'all never looked at was the goods and commerce money as freight. Your children are freight. So you don't even have the correct numbers on what you think that they were taking them from. It wasn't just Title IV. It wasn't just Title V funding. It's goods and commerce. MERS was the way for them to launder. And then what they were doing is um, footage, and you can delete in CPS. You can buy Nancy Schaefer's shit for the highest bid like you did, but God has a way of letting the truth come back out.
That's crazy too, because I've
Okay,
seen
what's
a
that?
ton of stuff come out at once that is, I'm just shocked, but this new level of stuff you got is just next level. So when you say MERS and stuff though, a lot of people on here don't know what MERS
So,
is, even in the
okay, so
first place.
MERS is it's electronic recording deal, but that's how they money launder. So like your judges that sometimes foreclosure homes, there's not a real title or deed. And so what they'll do is their partners, real estate, they rent the houses out. They don't resell them because they do not have a mortgage claim to this house. And so they've sold your home unlawfully, because foreclosure is technically unlawful, but they're mortgaging these houses. Now the other thing is you can look at judges, courthouses, and cemeteries, and they've mortgaged them 17, 18 times. Cemeteries 17, 18 times to make money. The thing
Wait,
also
18
is,
times like consecutively? Like at the same
yes, like
time
there's
or
18 active mortgages on courthouses that are in judges' names. There are courthouses that are in judges' names. Hot Springs Airport, Hot Spring County Airport, is got a MERS on it. It is a private airport. It's a taxpayer airport, and the judge lives on it, and it has bodyguards on it.
what?
Yes,
Oh my
we have
God.
found it has um been moving kids. So there's multiple things that we found. So when they move your child, let's say they take your child away, they
Mhm.
change that birth certificate to John Doe, Baby Doe, they don't give any names. Yours is completely gone. And the reason they're doing that is that when these kids turn 17 or 18, um, they will never be able to find out who their parents are, because what the government has done is change the birth certificate to a different name, like Baby Doe, baby, and so they're not only stealing your children, they're changing the birth certificates where your children, when they become of age, will never know who their parents are. Um, and so with this deal in Georgia, um, we are right now, and this is something I need some help on. We need to FOIA every single. Um, oh, we're gonna play this game tonight.
Is your signal messing up? We may get a couple of times where our signal is messed up. I noticed this happen whenever we talk about serious stuff. The videos seem to freeze up a little bit. How many people can hear me? Because I can't hear her. Somebody give me thumbs up or something if you can hear me and see me. As people are starting to see what's really going on. She fell off. We'll be able to get her back on. But guys, I seen something crazy today too. I was looking at some of the that it says that when it speaks of your children, uh, it should be speaking of children, but it talks about the care, custody, and control. Um, and it talks about like if any person shall like spend money that they should not be spending, right? When it comes to Title 4E programs or these types of programs, right? And I noticed that at the top it said if anybody should, it called whatever it was that these CPS agents were to have property, right? And then it said the care, custody, and control of the property. Now that's funny because in the CPS cases, when they're talking about acting like they're talking about a child. They tell you that they're talking about your little ones, and they talk about the care. Chad, if you got that document, throw it up, please. They talk about the care, custody, and control of the child, right? But up at the top, where it before it talked about in the subsection care, custody, and control, it was talking about property. And I really want to go and look at that and understand if this property they're talking about is actually the birth certificate, because whenever they steal your kids, they take the birth certificate. You could try to get the birth certificate for the little ones and it don't exist no more, or they won't let you have it. I believe that what it is that they're stealing. When they say child, the child is the birth certificate and not the little one. So the law says that you can only control what you can create, what you create. So the legislature never created a freaking child as in a baby, but they did work with you in a partnership with the birth certificate to create a child. So the thing is that the child birth certificate is a corporation. It got all capital letters, just like a corporation. Your birth certificate is used in commerce, right? So the thing is that I don't think that the actual physical blood mother is ever owned. She's owned by that. I mean, the birth certificate for the mother and the marriage license is like the parent company. So you think about it. The state statutes will say, well, the statute ain't gonna say it because it's kind of hidden. But what they do is they say the birth certificate or the child, they call it a child, which is a child company, is owned by the parent company. So when they call you parents, you need to realize, are they talking about me in a commercial sense because they're selling me this license to get married? And after they sell me this license to get married, they get a kid and call them a child company? Because in that law, I'm telling y'all, I saw it say, it referred to property owned by the agency. And then it said the agency owned property. And if they embezzle money from that property, that they could get in trouble. And then up under the subsections, it said the care, custody, and control of it. And so it makes a lot of sense that you could have the care, custody, and control of the birth certificate. Because think about it. Someone can give you a driver's license based on a false trust, right? And what's crazy is that if they give you a driver's license, they can always take the license back, right? So if they give you a birth certificate and they let you have the care, custody, control of that trust, that birth certificate, then they can actually take that child back. But they never, ever, ever created a little one. And so when somebody tries to tell you that, oh, well, we have the right to take your little one, well, just understanding that nobody can make a special law where a general law is already in place and nobody can control what they did not create. Nobody created a baby but you, your spouse, and God. That's it. God gave you your little ones. That's right. They are your liberty interests. And it's funny because Sandra Day O'Connor, oh gosh, I gotta let y'all see this. How many of you guys have read the Troxel versus Granville case and see where Sandra Day O'Connor goes back, and I think she goes back to Pierce, I believe it is. Let me see, is it Pierce or I think it's Pierce. And what you're going to find is she says the child is, that's right, the BC is only for the statutory entity. Yes. She says the child is not the mere creature of the state. Now, how many ever heard that before? Because if you understand what the freak that's saying, that is a whole mouthful. How many of you guys know what a creature of the state is? Because remember, we can only control what we create. So if a child, she says, is not just a mere creature of the state. See, mere meaning that's not all they are, or that's not the only thing a child is. When she says that the child is not a mere creature of the state, she then goes on to talk about the liberty interest we have and the upbringing that we have to give to a child that will prepare him for things that the state cannot do. Neither can they pretty much interfere or prohibit it. Now, this is super important because she's on the low telling about two freaking entities or two things at once. So in one part of the decision, she's doing it in a way to kind of hide it so she doesn't just throw everything out there. But in one part, she's talking about a creature of the state. In another part, she's talking about one that we have a liberty interest to that is our own. She said the parents have a right to raise their own, or in the upbringing of their own. When you say words like their and own, it shows that you own something. It belongs to you. But here's where it gets really deep. Let's see. Even the Hardwick versus Vreeken case refers to the children as a liberty interest and creatures of the state. That's deep. Because I see you just pop back on, man. Let me know when you're ready. Creature of the state, y'all. A creature of the state is the same thing as a creature of statute. So when you look up adoption in the Black's Law Dictionary, like from 5 on down, it's going to tell you that adoption is completely statutory. There is no common law for it. It does not exist with general law. It does not exist. It's not in any constitution that says they can take your kids. Let me know when you're ready to rock and roll. Send the request so I can throw you in. So you got to think about this. A creature of the state is something that the state creates, where the state is paper. So the only thing that a state or a corporate entity can create is more paper and more corporate entities. It can't create a real baby. So what's deep is post it up for us, Brian. Show us what you're talking about. What's deep is that this one child they're talking about is a creature of the state or a piece of paper called a birth certificate. The other one she's talking about that's a liberty interest that's proper to mothers and fathers and they own them is the little ones. God gave you the little ones as a reward. They belong to you. You have a liberty interest and the government cannot interfere. The other one is a corporate entity where the government says, hey, you know what? We're going to do a marriage license, which is a fraud. Let's see. Let me get you on here. There you go. Yeah, so they do a marriage license, which is a fraud. And then they say any product of the marriage corporate contract that comes out, we get to make money off of. Well, the only thing that they're making a corporate contract for is a birth certificate where the mother signs, the father signs, and the state is at the top. So the thing is that they're making a contract to be able to use a corporate entity called the birth certificate, but they're tricking everybody to believe that a child company and a child baby is the same thing, because they'll come try to pick up your baby, not telling you. That's right. Oh my gosh, Amy Jo Freeman, you better send me a friend request if I ain't got you, because you spit some fire. I see you. She said God instituted marriage. God instituted marriage, not government. And that's the truth, is that government has no jurisdiction or no standing in between a marriage, because it's a civil union and it's between a man and a woman and God, right? So they committed fraud just by making a license for it. Go ahead. You want to go finish knocking out what you were talking about?
Okay, we can go back to MERS for just a second. So for people to explain why I keep talking about MERS and where it's going. So MERS is like
everybody
the pimp.
This is some good stuff. I know they're bumping y'all because let me tell you what's happening. See, before with mine, they used to flicker out my screen every time. Well, Michelle has been dropping so much fire, y'all, that of course she's being watched and she's telling about stuff that nobody has talked about before. The stuff I've never even heard before, but I'm starting to see now. So try to share with everybody. Let's keep our numbers up. And if you get knocked off, just please come back on because you guys are
I
dropping some
will.
fire in the
They're,
comments.
I know that that's what they're doing. They're blocking me off because of what I'm talking about. Okay, so Murs is
Mhm.
like the pimp. That's what we call him, And Murs was not even made by the U.S. Constitution or like a federal, Congress or anything. MERS came in effect from the banking system. 1998, your Clinton took a patent and he patented all of us out. Okay? And so the patent is like your DNA, your offspring, and through this between 2001 and 2005 they changed the banking system. Now, the reason the MERS system is so important is because that's how they're money laundering everything. And we have judges who they've got 16 active mortgages on courthouses. We found one judge that his house didn't have a mortgage, but his whole community had a mortgage in his name. And so, yes,
Wait, what?
no mortgage, no MERS mortgage in his name, but everybody in the community had a mortgage in MERS in his name. And so
Wow.
they've done cemeteries. Then get this, like if you have a pole in front of your house and it has a tag, like UCC tag, they also mortgage it as a property. And so they make money off of it also. And so they have figured a way to mortgage every damn thing. And
Wow.
so what the sickening part is they have taken your offspring and they have DNA. We actually have found the breeding ground. And what they're doing, the reason I tell people do not do ancestry, do not do these things, is because they took your NDA and they actually have a breeding ground. We do know the location of it. We have the address, the location, and what they're doing is building artificial intelligence right now. They're also, like when you call the prison, they'll say that they're recording your voice. The next thing that they're going to push on you is voice recorded for security. So someone could say, "Hey, David, do you have this bill or do you want to pay it by credit card?" And you could say, "Yes, David Jose," and it's going to match the voice in that system. See any difference problems
Wow.
with this? So they're taking your voices, they're doing artificial intelligence, they've kidnapped your offspring, they've patented everything through MERS. MERS is a hidden deal in the four corners of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and they literally own your damn underwear if you got them on, in your house, your wedding ring, everything belongs to them. Nothing belongs to you. And let me tell you an experience. The other day I went to the Arkansas Revenue Department and Randall didn't want to stay in line. I went and got a number for him and waited. And they were wanting a number, and he thought it was the number on the side. Well, they wanted the VIN number. And so he calls me up there and he goes, "They won't give me my tags because they want the number, the VIN number." And I said to the lady, I said, "You do know that's unconstitutional." And she goes, "What?" And I said, "It's unconstitutional. You don't have the right to his VIN number, a picture of it." And I said, "The truth is, through MERS, you want that picture so that the government can claim that it's their property." And I said, "I know exactly what you're doing here." And she was trying to shut me up. She was like, "If you'll just hush and leave and go get a picture, I'll let you right back in here. You won't have to stand in line. Just hush." And I was like, "No, you're stealing people's property through MERS." And I said, "And I'm coming after you." She said, "Well, go talk to the Secretary of State." I said, "No, I don't think you understand. I just sent 39 letters out to the United Nations, to the Department of Army, to the Department of Treasury, to the Trade, I said, I'm claiming everybody's property back. I'm going to teach everybody how to claim their property back because what they have done is unlawful. They should be hung by their hemp rope for what they have done. This is not America. We are slaves. They literally call you energy. They pay when you move, you are goods in commerce. When they move your children, they are your goods in commerce. You need to, I need help. We have to FOIA every single house and rep, house, state, on a federal level and a state level. We need their traveling records from a Thursday to a Monday. Okay? So we need a team of y'all to help us this. The reason is because that's when they're moving the kids. I know what plane agency, I know who's doing it. I've got where there are 4 senators on there doing it. We've got Hillary Clinton on one of them. And what they're doing is they're taking your kids, they load them up as goods in commerce, and then they ship them for a little rendezvous to Italy, to Thailand, and to all these other countries, and some come back and some do not. And so you'll see some senators that are not at work on Monday. And so we have got to get their schedules. Once we get their schedules, and break it down, and I can show you how to do the foyer. And what we really got to do, we have to get those schedules.
Y'all see
Um,
this?
is it pausing?
Once you start lighting some fire in, the thing is like, let's go ahead and slow this thing to freak down.
Um, I don't give a shit. Y'all can take me off of Facebook. I will put it on damn bulletin boards all across the United States that, hey, Georgia and everybody, I know who you are. I know that you are MERS. You're stealing my kids through airplanes. I know what airplane or company. And we can play it the nice way or we can just go all the way. And I don't mind going all the way. I always loved that song. Let's go all the way, baby. You know that song? I love that song. And
I'm from the hood. You gotta keep it to me.
so, you know, um, I'm gonna put it out there. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I do want y'all to know that MERS is how you stop this. Your legislators and senators are not going to stop it. They are part of it. I have confirmation on this. You have to stop asking permission, and we need FOIAs. We need mass arrest, and we right now have an army of about 50,000 people that I've built, um, because I'm not going in small numbers. I'm working with the UN. I'm working with some badass people from Russia, who have dealt with human trafficking and child trafficking, like Raytheon, who is child trafficking in other countries. Yeah, Raytheon. I said it. They're trafficking kids in other countries. General Dynamics has got some systems. So, we've got to stop, being so sweet and just call it out as it is. Um, you're all pieces of shit for taking children and raping them and ruining. I cannot imagine what you've done to these kids. And I'm not going to sit back and be nice anymore. I've been, in my videos, you've seen me be very calm and just, but I have the information. I've given the information out to over 1,000 people. If anything happens to me or any of my advocates, there's going to be videos released of gay married senators having gay sex in the Capitol. We are going to be releasing videos of some of the senators that were loading kids up. Um, we are going to load up some
Wait,
things.
videos have been loading up kids?
Oh, yeah, we've got it all. And
Wow.
so I'm not playing anymore. I'm done with the playing. I've lived a good life and I'm going to finish this. And if they take me out before it's over, that's fine, but I'm finishing it. And I need your help. I need y'all to help me finish, be vigilant. Like I said, the people that killed Nancy Schaefer um, have already been in contact with me. And so I know where my life is, but I also know that my God is so much more powerful than any of them. And
Hey, as I told you about over 6 months ago, probably, I had some of the same group of people make some threats towards my life. They actually talked to somebody I know who was an old school gangster. And he let me know, he's like, hey, Dave, these people are trying to set you up to get you killed. Watch your back, dude. Watch when you're out, carry a gun, look out. Um, so, yeah, those same people who dealt with Nancy Schaefer tried to get, they had a couple of people who were in their little clique try to come after me, so called, and talk about what they were going to do. But you're right. It's God. If God is for you, nobody could be against you. We're knocking this thing down when we shouldn't be. People told us that we weren't going to make it. People told me they were going to shoot the crap out of me and slit my throat from left to right and all that good stuff. And I laughed because I don't give a
my
freak.
God will remove my soul before they kill me. My God will remove my soul before they kill me so I don't experience pain.
Yeah, I don't think these people are going to be able to kill us. I think that God is putting us so many good people together. I mean, there's so many ultra tough people in this video that we have grown too freaking big, and
I
the word
have
is moving too
I have
fast.
contacts and ready to go in Palestine, China, Siberia, Russia, um, Israel. I have contacts in all 50 states. I have contacts in Russia. I have contacts in the military. I have contacts in the Pentagon. I'm not worried about my army. I'm really not worried about my army. I have worked diligently and I have worked very hard to make sure that we were right. And um, we are right. This is a system that is disgusting. It's full of darkness. It's evil. It's full of sin. And the government has tried to steal everything from you. We've got affidavits that we can teach you to reclaim your property. And I'm gonna start doing some classes. I have put this out there a little bit. Um, you know, if I'm a single mom and if I don't start turning into teaching people and making classes and teaching y'all things, um, then I'm gonna have to stop and go to work. And I don't want to do that. And so I'm trying to right now figure out ways that I can empower you, make the army bigger, and you'll get your money's worth. My work is always good. I sent you stuff
Is that
yesterday.
some of the is that some of the stuff you were teaching me about, like the car stuff about claiming your property and stuff? Because you
Hmm.
know what, I went and I looked, and I found a case in New Hampshire where a chief justice actually was telling about, and I was blown away that I really found this because, I heard some of the things you taught me, and then I went and looked, and I saw in New Hampshire where a chief justice talked about, and it was back in the day, like in the 60s. There was a Dodge Dart, and he explained how the Dodge Dart is what was called household goods, right? So I remember that one of those documents you gave me that talked about household goods. It talked about like automobiles and stuff. Well, what's funny is that when I went and I looked, I found it in the case exactly like you said. And what ended up happening was that I ended up seeing that there was this other senator, I think he is named Dick Marple, Dick Marple or something like that. Well, he had a case over this same issue and right to travel and owning your own property and how they trick people to register property like cars and stuff like that. and he won the freaking case. All his charges were dropped where they tried to go against him. He schooled the freaking judge. There's a video on YouTube. I saw the cases. They made a bill that they were trying to pass that the bill didn't pass, but the general court found that the DMV was committing fraud. That same understanding is what they're doing with CPS. They're contracting with companies called birth certificates and acting like they're contracting for our kids. And here's the thing about the third party freaking contractors. Amy Jo, look up House Bill 1778. Oh, Mike Gill is a beast. 1778 in New Hampshire, and you're going to find it is going to blow you away. Now, the bill didn't pass because they were trying to get the state, the DMV, to pay money, but the DMV is a private corporation.
And I
So
can send Amy what I sent you. I've sent you tons of information on that. So Amy, I can send you that stuff. It won't be tonight, but you know, and I know David worked on a lot of things. But you know, my library's pretty deep on this, and a lot of research, and you know, but like I told you, they're taking these babies and they're putting them baby does so that they'll never be able to find their parents. It's a very sickening thing that they're doing. 40% of children taken from foster care have already been asked for. Jaden in Arkansas, his birth certificate was closed the minute he was taken away, is what we're being told.
Wow.
And so, you know, there's a lot of corruption, a lot of bad things going on here, but I'm not afraid. And you know, so I just wanted to jump on for a minute and show my face, show y'all that I'm still alive, and I apologize. I know I look really tired, but I love you guys, and thank y'all all for your support this week. Y'all have been amazing, and I know a lot of you took up for me when I didn't even know what was going on, and I really appreciate that. But we are going to be arranging out some online classes and some one-on-one. I like to be in town halls to speak, you know, to teach people. That's what I like to do. And we're going to be working on that. Mindy and I are getting some dates together. And I look forward to doing that with y'all. If there's a certain class that you're wanting to know, let me know. I'll work with you for a very cheap price, you know, and get you started. The most thing that I could ask for that I need help is on these foyers with everybody. We get that information. I'm going to be able to bring rain down. It's going to rain down, baby, when we bring that down. So, bring a lot of children home. A lot of answers. A lot of people will be arrested, and you know, all of you. The one thing I've
Hey,
seen.
wait, real quick. You've been involved with research before that got people caught up and got them arrested, right? Like powerful people or
I've had two
officials.
powerful people arrested.
How, okay, now y'all got to pay attention to this, y'all, because one of the things that we've been wanting to deal with is enforcement, right? And Michelle has been involved with some powerful people, and she's done some things behind the scenes where people have gotten arrested who were in powerful positions. And that's one of the things that have been hidden from us, right? Like we're learning in different areas how to do certain things. So we learned, like with David Strait, how to get kids back. We learned about affidavits, which is one of my favorites, and we saw kids come back. We saw Fran do some stuff and kids come back. We saw Nicholas Herring do some stuff and a man get out of jail. We saw David Strait get people out of jail. Now, Michelle, we saw her do some work, and we saw her set up an affidavit or bring up an affidavit and some information to police, and she actually forced the police to actually go pick up somebody's kid that they didn't want to, the foster parents didn't want to give back.
Yeah, I
So
told them that if they were violating their oath, that they work in a private capacity. This week I have a patient that's really sick. They told us they wouldn't give us the records. They wanted to medically kidnap my patient, and I told them that no, that's not. She told me what the HIPAA law was, and I said no, that's not HIPAA 45. Let me school you on HIPAA 45. And I said HIPAA 1835, like 26 or something, says that you have to give these records to her husband, or she can fax them to you with her driver's license to know that you're just trying to medically kidnap my patient. And I said, who's the director who's telling you this? And she goes, well, it's just a director. I said, what's the director's name? And she said, well, I said, okay, well, now you do know you are working in private capacity. You're no longer working in a business capacity because you're choosing to break the law. And I said, so therefore, right now, I'm going to file an affidavit against you and claim your title and bonds, and I'm going to sue the crap out of you. And I said, and then I'm going to own the clinic for killing my patient. And I said, and the first class you're having is HIPAA rules. And I said, so y'all learn my name. My name is Michelle McMillan, and I will be your new boss if you kill my patient. And
yeah, see,
so
that's the thing is that you're having success though with putting these people in line and knowing what they are. But
they
I think we need to
don't
learn before that.
they don't like titles and bonds. When you talk to them about, I'm going to claim your title and bonds, same thing I did to the police officer. I'm holding your title and bonds. Will you sign an affidavit that you are breaking the Constitution of not returning that child? And when I tell them that, they don't want to do that.
Yeah, see, it's deep because we saw in court or in the private business courts, nobody wants to sign an affidavit. Like, and the funny thing is, I know why they can't. Like, a state officer can't sign an affidavit. You can either be a man or a woman and sign an affidavit or make a claim, or you can be a state officer where you got some type of immunity and coverage, they think, you know? So they're like, look, I don't want to answer you on no freaking piece of paper where I gotta swear that I'm a man or a woman that has knowledge of the facts. Man, this stupid fly is going crazy. Y'all see that? The fly see my 3 pieces of hair and they're trying to go after it. I'm like, dude, I just grew this. Leave me alone. You know? But the thing is that they know they can't sign an affidavit. The reason is that the state can't make a claim. A private business that is a fictitious entity cannot make a claim that you did wrong.
But
They
yeah,
cannot do it.
but some of it's education. I ran into a cop the other day, and I enjoyed him and respected him. He and I talked about CPS, and do you know he didn't know that it had to have two witnesses in the affidavit. And the minute I told him,
Oh,
and
sorry, you just got me excited.
and
That's
the
fire.
the minute I
Nobody
explained
ever talks about that.
the minute I explained to him and showed him on my phone, he actually sent me a Facebook request. He promised me that he would never go in a home without that information.
See, this blows me away because people keep telling me, they're like, yeah, well, the caseworker wrote an affidavit saying that I did this or that. I said, shut up. No caseworker wrote an affidavit. An affidavit in itself, because what happens is that over time, the bar starts to trick people and take away some of the qualifications for like a court of record
Two
or for like a
witnesses.
court.
Two
Yeah.
witnesses.
So if an affidavit doesn't have an affiant, it's not an affidavit. If an affidavit is not sworn under oath, under penalty of perjury or something like that, it is not an affidavit. If the affidavit doesn't have somebody with firsthand knowledge of the facts, it's not an affidavit. So if somebody says, well, somebody told me that something possibly happened in your house, and I believe that it could be true, I have no reason not to believe it's true. That is not an affidavit. If they don't have firsthand knowledge of the facts, it's not an affidavit. So all these so-called matters, not cases, but matters, not cases in controversy, where they're bringing us before these private administrative hearing officers, one of the only reasons that they get away with this stuff is because we believe that it's true, right? So we could go into a situation, like I'll give you an example. Somebody can call you and say, "Hey, I'm the IRS. You owe us $5,000, or we got a cop around the corner that's going to arrest you," right? If you believe the scam and don't realize it's a scam, you might lose $5,000. And it might seem really real to you. It might be really scary, but it's not real and it's not by the law. And so when somebody says, "Oh, this person who never met you before wrote an affidavit about you," you like, "Really? You wrote an affidavit? You ain't never seen me before, never seen my family, ain't never been in my house, don't know nothing about me, but you wrote an affidavit about what I did or what somebody else did. Really?" You see, so sometimes we get messed up because the stupid, silly courts will make us make an assumption. They'll say, if a governmental worker comes to your house and make an affidavit against you, then they have the right to open up a court and take your child. First of all, CPS is a private business. They're not a government worker. Number two, um, these people are holding no office. They're private businesses. They have no jurisdiction and no right to take your kid anywhere. But because we think it's true, they trick us into a contract. They trick us by fear into letting them talk to us, letting them touch our kids. And it's really hard to fight that battle by yourself because these people are so slick and such liars, they're going to use guns if you don't do it, right? But their worst enemy is when we attack with a lot of people at once telling the truth. And so I want to ask, um, is it possible? That's right, it's only a program, Ramsey. Thank you so much for coming on. That's some beautiful stuff. Michelle, would you be willing if I can get some people in Arizona together? Because our news, right? We got AZ Central. They've been doing tons of articles about the officers, DCS using the officers to break into someone's house in Chandler and steal their kids who had 100-degree fever. 100 degrees. They're in their house with with
Yeah, I
guns.
was helping to fight that case that night.
Yeah. So I want to know if we could put some money together. Can you come to Arizona and teach some classes on FOIA, on making criminal complaints against these people? And
Absolutely. Even how to teach you to get to a grand jury.
yeah, and even if you can't physically come, we'll put together some money. I'll get with Christina Cole. Christina Cole just did an awesome Zoom class today for some of the fighters or whatever to get us together and get us going the way that we need to. There's things that we need to kick butt with, and we don't necessarily know it, right? Like when David Strait came to Arizona, he met with parents. We fought so freaking hard. And the thing is that what I realize is that in the business world, when I look at life, I realize like, man, I might want to learn how to put a property in a trust and then do this or that, right? I might not know how to do one of the parts. I don't waste time like freaking trying to figure it out all myself over years, which I could, but it's a waste of my freaking time when somebody else already knows how to do it. So what I would want is I would want to be able to put some money together, take care of you, your family, so you could be free. And then you come help us, or you do some Zoom classes, show us over the next week or two or whatever. We got David Strait here. It took us 2 weeks to raise the money. It's real quick.
Okay.
So with
Just let me know.
you, yeah, with you, if you can do it, like we want to do a whole bunch of FOIA. And we got good questions to ask to trap these people to freak up. So some of our fight, we've done some crazy things here in Arizona and some powerful things happen. But if we can trap people and understand what certain entities are, like if we can do FOIAs to find out what entities are private or not and get them to put it on paper, if we can, I'll say the rest later when you are off the record, because I know some of the trolls gonna come on and try to get our plan. But if we could pay you to do that or pay for you, because I know you give a ton of your time and money and help, I want to be able to take care of you too, so you can continue to be with us. And we'll take massive action. Like we got like Christina Lawler here. She had us out going door to door at one time. You know, so we'll do the work. We'll freaking get out there and
Okay.
fight. We'll protest. If you'll come or you'll set up classes, we're in.
Okay. That works. I'm gonna jump off tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a live on how MERS ties into some real estate and mortgage companies. I'm going to show you judges on videos and even a new player in this, Google Circle. Like when you get that Google number, they take a mortgage out on you. So tomorrow I'm going to cover that. So be looking forward to that. But I'm going to get off tonight. I've got my babies here tonight, um, and God bless to the trolls, and may peace be given to you, and send all of our enemies 7 different directions. And thank you, David, for the time. Thank you for everything. You and I will get together on what we need to get everything done for it, and I'll be in touch. Okay. So
Yeah,
y'all have a good.
I'll be sending you something on Tuesday, so just keep an eye.
Okay. All right. I'll see you. Good
All
night,
right,
guys.
cool, young lady. So, guys, the thing is that that's one thing that I've been really serious about is gaining the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding to Nicole today. And the funny thing is that we have people all over the place, y'all, who are coming together with, I mean, powerful, powerful, powerful knowledge. And it's crazy because a lot of us come into this movement for our own reasons and to fight for people or to fight for our families. And we end up gaining our own part of the movement. We get our strengths and our abilities, and we are able to use them to help the whole team. And so it's crazy to see Christine Nicole step up and create an event that I was thinking in my own mind, like, man, we need to get stuff together and bring people together in a big way. We need to reestablish the work that we were doing, turn it up, come with more fire. We got to get more videos out and share more stuff. And the sad thing is that organization is not my best thing, but Christine Nicole came in like a monster, brought some very powerful people together. We got to talk and look over some things that is going to help everybody. You guys seen a good amount of kids come back. You guys seen now that the legislature is telling on the bar is telling on the legislature, the CPS is telling on the legislature is telling on the judges telling on the legislature. So things are happening in a very, very, very fast way. And I believe that we're getting ready to see a ton more kids come back. We're getting ready to see a lot of people go to prison. But it will not happen the way that it needs to unless we first analyze ourselves. We first have to say, okay, with me, I want to accomplish, I want to kick butt. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. At some times when I did not understand what was going on, y'all want to know the truth about what happened inside of me? Here's the truth. When I did not know what it is that I was fighting, when I did not know what this enemy was, I had fear. I had fear. I had fear. I had fear when I didn't know. That's right. They're squealing like pigs, Justin. I had fear when I didn't know what it was that I was fighting. Justin could tell you this because Justin has been around for a while, and Justin will see where I wouldn't know something. I would ask him questions over and over and over again. Some of you guys remember, you see with Chris Hallett, I'll ask him questions. David Strait, I'll call him and say, David, can you tell me this? Can you break it down so I can understand? See, if you let me understand something and I know I'm in the right and I know what it is that I'm fighting, I'll fight to the death. I don't care. I'll fight like crazy. If I don't understand and I don't know, I'll tend to be a little bit more timid because in every step that I take, I want to make sure that I'm doing right. or doing it right. And so, um, if you have goals and talents and you have a dream, if you got your kids taken, you want to see your kids again, if you got somebody took your car, took your house, and you want to be compensated, guys, if we stand up strong, then we can have these people pay us back what it is that they stole from us. We can have these people give kids back. We can have these people give cars back or give them money back for the cars that they stole from us unlawfully. We can have people compensate us for giving vaccines to our little ones. The thing is that this whole system works off of belief. If you believe that these people can do whatever they want to you and you think they're bigger than you and stronger than you just because they wear a title, listen, guys, CPS never took anybody's kids. All right? A man or a woman took your kids. They used the name CPS as a corporate veil to make you think that some entity is coming and taking your kids. No, this is a private freaking business. That's all it is. It's a group of people coming together, running a business. And when that business does you wrong, it's not CPS that's doing you wrong. It's freaking a man named Johnny or a woman named Lisa. You see what I'm saying? And so, hey, Justin, but you remember I sent my mail late, my post, because I was trying to figure some of the stuff out and I was fighting, but you remember I had to apologize to you because I did not move fast enough. Like, you taught me stuff and I didn't take advantage of it right away, and I could have kicked a whole bunch more butt if I would have taken what you gave me when you gave it to me. See, we have a big group of people with a ton of knowledge, but sometimes we're not moving fast enough on that knowledge. I did it the other day. I'll give you an example. I was studying some stuff and I messaged Chris Hallett and I asked him, I said, hey, can you explain to me what cases you use for this, this, and that, and why you feel it's this way? When he gave me a document with a list of cases, a list of statutes and codes, that was a picture that was a page long. And I was doing all my other work, and really, rather than asking him to tell me about which one and explain which one, I could have just read all the cases. You see? I could have just read all the cases. But I was slacking, I ain't gonna lie. Because sometimes your greatest enemy is yourself. See, and this is what I wanted to talk about in this video. Sometimes you can kick a whole lot of butt, do a whole lot, accomplish what you never thought you could accomplish, but the reason you can't is because you don't believe in the power that's inside of you, or you don't get after it as hard as you should. Let me see. It's some deep stuff to grasp. I can understand why people hesitate, but when it comes to the littles, we just have to move. That's right. See, and that's the thing I'm learning, Justin. Like, you know, when all this stuff went down, I prayed to God, right? And then some people sent me some Bible verses. And then I heard this Bible verse that said, I will help you. I will lift you up. It was Isaiah chapter 41, chapter 42, chapter 43, in the King James Version. It was 41 through 45. If you listen to it, you'll see what I'm talking about. And in these Bible verses, like one day, I felt like I wasn't being strong enough, right? And I'm like, dang, man, I'm not going as hard as I need to. And I know that in the Bible, like if you turn back and you got soft when God prepared you for war, that he says, look, I will, like the Ephraim had weapons and were ready to go fight, and then they turned back. God don't like that, right? And so I realized that I have some powerful soldiers around me, but the Bible says that I will give men and women for thy life. You know, I'll give men and people to fight, you know, to help you with what you need. And God says, I will help you. I'll be there for you. I got you, right? So after that, we had like Michi Slay. We had Justin Nolan, then Kirk Pendergrass, then John Gentry, David Strait, you know, all these powerful people just came into my life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? I asked for knowledge, I asked for wisdom, and then I just got flooded, right? And I was watching online and I started learning about affidavits, and then I started looking up Bouvier and Blackstone commentary, and I started understanding like, oh shucks, these people can't make affidavits. These people cannot make a real affidavit. So when you hit them with a real affidavit, it's staggering to them, right? So when I found that out, I started doing affidavits. And I'm going to tell y'all, when I first started doing affidavits, I didn't understand how much it was going to affect things later on. And so what ended up happening later on was that I realized that these people not answering affidavits, the affidavit stand as truth and law. And so as I use these affidavits now, the people don't even have the right to say anything back. But if they try to say to me, well, David, we had an affidavit in a CPS case that you didn't pay attention to, or you didn't respond back with an affidavit. It's like, well, what you got ain't no affidavit. There's no firsthand witness. Like, you're lying about what an affidavit is. So I'm learning much more now, but I'm saying all this to say there's fire inside of you, there's strength inside of you, and power inside of you that you may not use right now because you don't believe you're enough, because you don't believe. And see, in order for me to be a leader, right, if I'm going to help people see the truth, if I'm going to help people win, see, some of the things that happen, or some of the things that we use that help people win, is not about me being special. It's not about me being great. It's about me reminding people how to get the truth out there, because these private courts like to hide the truth. Like, I know somebody who went to court recently and they tried to stop them from putting in their affidavits. Y'all know I'm gonna have a field day with that. I'm like, heck no, you gonna get it. Somebody else I know had a case, 2 cases, and he's part of my PMA. I helped him put together some information to write some affidavits. He got them written up, dropped that fire on their head, right? And one of them, they tried to put a warrant on him. The funny thing is, after he hit him with that affidavit, for some reason, nobody wanted to come to court no more. Case kicked out. There was another case kicked out. There was another case where he was going like 20 over, right? And got busted. And I gave him some stuff to think about, and he made some affidavits, and then he did an injunction privately, right? Paula, I'm really careful with accepting friend requests, and you got to understand this, and I apologize, but a lot of times I get people who are really government agents or trolls, so I ask a question when I try to see if somebody wants to be my friend, and if they don't respond, then I don't answer. I mean, I don't add them on, but I apologize if you're a real person. I'm not a person. If you're a real woman, that's on a good side, talk to me and let me know, and I'll bring you in right away. It's just that I have to be careful, because when you start exposing this stuff like crazy, you get these government agents that just come after you, and they'll just make up stuff, right? They'll just literally make up any old story. I say, put it on an affidavit and let's see what's up. They won't do it. I'm like, man, look, you go talk some junk, you go lose some money, right? But they know better. They're like, look, I ain't putting that on no affidavit so you can sue me, But that's right. You're going to get trolls. You're going to get people who work for the government who just want to say bad stuff to you. I got people who go to my people in business and they're like, hey, don't trust David Jose. Don't do business with him. And then I got people who like, man, I made $100,000 with this dude last year. I made 300 grand with this dude. I did $1 million with this dude. I mean, you need to kick rocks, get the freak out of here. See, they tried that game on me, but it did not work, because I had a long history since 2001 and helping people make money and doing big business and all that stuff. I'm like, you picked the wrong dude. I dress messed up. I dress like the hot rod guy who works on hot rod cars like this one. Let me show y'all just so you can see. How do I do this? Oh, right here, look. Right now, this is what I'm sitting in front of. I'm sitting in front of my old school hot rod with turbo stuff in there. See my turbo things and stuff like that from my intake for the turbo, my 10-gallon gas tank, right? And so the thing is that I like building hot rods and cars. I don't dress up. I like wearing these gas station shirts because people look at me and say, I think you work at a gas station, right? And I like to see how they treat me. But really, I've done a lot in real estate investing. I used to work with Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, like one of the number one real estate guys in the nation. We partnered up and I sold properties all around the country. I was the biggest medical commodity coaching the entire nation. So I've been able to do a lot of business and make a lot of money. But it's funny because they came in and they just start trying to assassinate my character. They like, oh, David Jose is a scam artist. His businesses don't work. And then people like, nah, dude, I made $1 million with this dude. I did 300 grand in 16 months. Dude, I opened all these businesses and made all this money. So they actually helped me. They made an article about me, right? They made an article about me and they brought me new business partners because people tried to come and see if it was true. But this is what happens when you really go after these people and you tell the truth. They will make up anything. They made us some stuff talking about sovereign citizen stuff. I'm like, come on, dude. Are you freaking serious? I said about affidavits, Blackstone commentary, Bouvier, people who've been around since the 1800s and way before that. They talk about the importance of affidavits, and these people don't want us to know about affidavits because they can't make them. You're going to find that no state worker, no government employee wants to ever make an affidavit and swear you did anything. They don't want that. They don't want to make real claims about you. They'll make information or belief. They'll say, well, we believe that he might have, and we're complaining that, but they ain't going to say, we know he did wrong 100% and we're swearing to it, unless it's a police officer who was freaking there and saw your face. But other than that, I'm telling y'all, they ain't doing it. And the thing is that we've lost the idea of basic principles. We've lost the idea. We've kicked some butt in the real estate world and done some major deals. All across the country, you know. That's right, no corporation. You're right, no corporation will either. You ask a corporation, hey, why don't you swear that I owe you this much money to the freaking penny? Swear to it, you know. Especially these third party actors, like they think we're stupid, right? So they'll come out of nowhere. You'll have a debt with an original company. They'll charge off the debt, meaning the debt is freaking gone, right? Charging it off means they didn't got with your trust account and freaking took the money. And then they go and they come back and they try to say, well, you know, I'm going to sell the debt. Because see, once they charge off your debt, they can't collect it anymore by law. So what they do is they sell it for pennies on the dollar to a third party, and the third party come lying. Like, hey, I'm the company that you owe money to. Like, really? Did we sign a contract somewhere? Oh, well, you owe me this money. You better give it to me now or you're going to be in trouble. You know, we're going to tear up your credit report. But the truth is that they're a third party collection agency. And by the law, they don't have the right to do business with you if you tell them, hey, I know that you're a third party agency. I don't do business with third parties. Send me the name and the address of the original creditor. I'll deal with them, but I won't deal with you. And if anybody tells you the debt is charged off, it's gone. Don't go trying to pay it because the third party creates what's called a technical debt. If you tell them, okay, I'll pay you, now you've obliged yourself to do it, and they've tricked you, and now you're paying off a charged off debt, and you don't realize you could be free. My dad bought a car, right? And somebody made a mistake where something happened to his car, went into the dealership, and the guy who signed the paperwork with him did something stupid and said something like, you won't owe a payment until this date, right? So my dad started making payments on the date, but what happened is that the guy told my dad some wrong information or something like that. And what ended up happening is that they tried to repo my dad's car. My dad's like, wait, what the heck is going on here? Why are you repoing my car? I got like everything together. I don't understand this. And they didn't tell him, oh, we made a mistake on the payment, and so your payment was 1 month late since the beginning, so we just been charging you all this time. So they tried to take my dad's car, and then they told him, oh, you're going to pay us this crazy amount of money. I'm like, what? Now, here it is. My dad don't know the stuff I know about the law. So my dad is like, man, they're bothering me or whatever, and they're doing this and doing that, and I've never done wrong by these people. I paid all my cars on time, and this, that, and the other. You know, I'm like, you want me to get them? You're right. See, that's the fun thing. See, and I learned this back in the day, and I feel bad because I should have continued with my knowledge, and now something else happened, and thank God, because I get to help other people, and I'm going to fight and get my little guys back. People can worry or complain or say that it ain't gonna happen. I already know. Like, I don't go into stuff um, not believing because I've accomplished too much. You know, God has been with me. I've won too much, fought too much, done great things. I ain't doubting. Other people have doubted me, but I like being an underdog. That's why I wear shirts like this. I want people to laugh at me. I want people to say it'll never happen because it's so much better when you win after everybody thinks you're a clown, right? Because last year people were like, oh, you'll never, early last year, David has got you guys praying and he's saying kids are going to come home. It'll never happen. He's giving y'all false hope. Then they were like, well, we can explain away how he helped get those kids home. Or he shouldn't have helped that person because we believe they're bad. How is he getting their kids home? He should have never did that. I'm like, I thought you said I'll never get kids home though. You know? But it's funny. But with my dad, I wrote him a letter, right? And I said, send this to him and see what's up. He sent the letter to the third-party collection agency. Nothing. He ain't hear back from him no more. They stopped bothering. Phone calls stopped in one day. They tried to sell it to somebody else. I'm like, look, send it to me again. I'll take off the name. I'll put the new name on there. Let's see what's up. Send it to the second group. Gone, you know? And so, you know, my dad don't get bothered by these clowns no more, you know? And that's the thing is that these corporations will do some shady stuff. These attorneys many times will do shady stuff because they just want to make money. They want some billable hours. They want to steal from your trust or whatever. They've learned how to transfer your money from your pocket to their pocket. Look, these judges and lawyers and these actors now, these corporate actors are the best magicians ever. They know how to do this trick, right? It's called converting your money from your pocket, your social security, your bank account to their bank account, right? Because it's not really about wrong or right no more. Like these people are just taking from people because they know that they've created this secret way to make money. And it's not all government employees. Some government employees go to work and try to do the right thing, answer your phone calls, try to help you in whatever it is that you're trying to do and be right by you. But then you got some that are really criminals that have learned how to steal and do some crazy stuff. Which group, Ramsey? Because I got a couple of groups that we deal with law stuff or whatever. And the thing is that, you know, guys, when you're fighting criminals, right? When you're fighting criminals, criminals don't follow the law. Criminals don't follow the law. And so sometimes we have to learn more creative ways in trapping these people in the law. And I'm telling you, like, for everything that it is that you're facing and fighting, you usually can find a way to fix it and do it. But it's called finding a way. You know, people say, well, I won't deal with David Jose, or I won't deal with David Strait, or I won't deal with this person or that person until I watch the whole thing through, make sure that they get back everything they're trying to get back, and then I'll try. And I'm going to tell you, that's the weakest type of way to be in the world. Because when you're in a fight and you're pursuing remedies, that's what you're doing. You're using knowledge and focus. It's like if you lose your house keys, right? It's kind of like saying, I'm not going to find my house keys so I can get up and go where I need to go until I make sure that somebody else found their house keys. Right? You're looking for house keys. So the way to find house keys is to focus your attention on turning off the radio, stop twerking, right? Stop doing the Harlem Shake, stop doing the square line dance, right? Stop paying attention to every distraction and look for the keys. See, it's funny, when you look in Luke 11 in the Bible, it tells you that the lawyers are going to hide the key of knowledge to prevent people from entering in. We are looking for knowledge that somebody hid. So in order to win, you have to look for the knowledge so you can tell the people, so enough people know that all y'all could walk together and sing a song and say, we shall overcome. Look, you don't want 500, 1,000, 2,000 people walking down your street if you're in government talking about we shall overcome when you know you doing wrong. See, if you got one or two people who know the truth walking by themselves, you could hide that truth You could just throw them in jail, let them rot away and say, whoa, let's keep making money. Thank God that person wasn't smart enough to tell nobody else. This is how we mess up. When we see somebody find the truth and we say, well, I ain't going to jump in and try to join in on the truth until we know the person has made it and everything has worked perfectly. That is foolishness. You're finding remedy. Everybody's running around talking about how we going to find remedy? How we going to find remedy? And then people say, well, this guy said he found some remedy. We can read it in the dang book that is true, but we ain't going to support him and we ain't going to walk with him until we find out that he won 32 kids back, 4 criminal cases, and stopped 5 judges from working and they all got fired. It's like, what the freak are you talking about? The power is not in the result. The power is in doing the work that helps us win. The work that helps us win is when we find the truth that's been hidden. Y'all know dang well that we've been through a lot of struggle. And when you find the truth that shows you how they're dogging you, how they're hurting you, tell the truth. Don't it make you feel so much better? You know that you're sure. You knew that whatever it was you were feeling in your heart, like, I'm not about to lay down to these people. What the freak is going on here? You know that you were right. Right? You know that you were right. You know that feeling you were feeling in your heart. See, that feeling in your heart is the common law inside of you. Common law comes from common sense. Common law ain't got a dang thing to do with the legislature. Go look up the word common law in the old Black's law or in an old Blackstone or something like that, Bouvier, and you're going to find that it's going to tell you that it is the law of the land that has nothing to do with the legislature. Think about it, guys. The legislature did not make the Constitution. We made the Constitution. People who had common sense said, hey, you can't have no lobbyists doing this. Hey, everybody got to get a trial by jury, homie. You can't play us like that, right? But we have been tricked out of the key of knowledge. We've been tricked, right? So the knowledge that helps us, they have changed the definitions in the law dictionaries. So if we go back and look at the old ones, we can see it. Do you know how powerful that is when you go in front of somebody and say, hey, so tell me why your Black's Law 4 tells the truth and your Black's Law 6 is lying like a mud? Why is it different? Does the law change like that? Does the truth change like that? Oh, definitions just change that fast, huh? You just gonna remove like 3-4 things out of the court of record. Come on, player, we ain't stupid. See, this is how we have to fight. We have to understand that within us, it can be hard, right? It can be hard. We can have fear if we don't know what we're looking at. But we got so many strong soldiers around us that know the truth. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to stand. Don't be afraid to fight. Of course you're scared when you don't know. We fear the unknown. It's like going down a dark street late at night. You don't know what's out there. You're like, oh, shucks, is something around here? You hear, ooh, 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 ah, 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 ah. You're like, what the heck is that? Am I in the jungle? What the freak is that, Audible? I never heard that before, right? You hear some big steps behind your back. You turn around like, what the freak is this? You gonna have fear when you don't know what's going on. But the fight is in the pursuit of knowledge. And once you understand and you can see a thing, you can fight the thing, right? You can fight it. You can, oh man, I ain't got to be scared of this. They got a freaking trust indenture. The Constitution is a trust indenture. Anybody who wants to fight me, any attorney, any judge, any day, bring them before me and let them tell me that the Constitution is not a trust, right? And I will blow their back out in front of all y'all with knowledge. Y'all saw when that one attorney tried to fight me with a court of record and got her behind ripped in front of everybody, right? She got tore up because she tried to say, David don't know what he's talking about a court of record. Well, by the time we were done that day, everybody knew that the attorneys ain't really being taught the truth. You see, they're not being taught the truth. So we got to do 2 things. We got to learn knowledge, but we also got to be careful too. And I'm going to tell y'all why. A lot of these people don't know the truth, but they've been led to believe that they're the smartest people in the world. So sometimes they got a little pride issue going on, right? It's kind of like when you talk to an officer and you say, hey, officer, well, actually, the law says this. He said, look, you can't tell me the law. This is my job, blah, 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 blah. He got a cockiness issue because he has not been set on his butt from doing the wrong thing. And then we got a legislature that protects him because they say, oh, if he's doing it in good faith, he can rape you. It's like, what the freak are you talking about? You're telling me this dude can rape people on the side of the road if he's doing it? What the freak do you mean good faith? Like, don't that mean that he don't know? When I don't know the law, you say not having knowledge of the law is no excuse. But in this dude who's supposed to be enforcing the law, don't know the law, and you say, well, he didn't know? What the freak is this? Is he a private business? Well, really, he is a private business. But that's some North Carolina Rodney Dale class stuff, right? He got them to prove, he got them to tell and throw them up under the bus and say, hey, these people are just private contractors. The governor bust on everybody. The administrative office of the courts told on everybody. And so it's the same thing in all of our states. But people gonna call you a sovereign citizen. People gonna call you crazy and all this stuff. But don't worry about that. Here's what you need to be concerned about. What you need to be concerned about is that you're telling other people the truth as fast as you possibly can, because like I always tell people, 180,000 people stopped prohibition so they could drink alcohol. 200,000 people knowing the truth about what's going on in our lives right now. And if we support each other in our different causes, vaccine stuff, CPS stuff, traffic court stuff, foreclosure court stuff, mirror stuff, if we come together and just support each other, knowing that we want freedom and we're tired of people picking with us, it would be so many of us so fast that we would stop this quickly. But y'all just got to want to, and I got to want to. We got to just make a decision. See, sometimes the thing stopping you from being a champion is not believing on the inside of you that you can do it. Not believing that you have enough. Believing that it's going to take way more people. No, it takes you. Because if you make the decision and you put your focus on finding the keys in the house, you usually find your keys. When you complain about, oh, lost my keys again. I think I lost my bank card too. Everything is wrong. Nothing is right. I don't know if it'll ever be right. I don't know if I'll ever be able to keep up with my keys. That's what it's like when you're complaining about the fight that you're in. You're complaining about not being able to find a solution, but you're not looking for a solution. Or you're complaining about not being able to find a solution, but you're not going to apply a solution until you see somebody else apply this solution 927 times. Like people got this number that they say, if you didn't bring home 927 kids and we don't see you get yours back yet, David, there's no way possible that it could really work. I'm like, well, okay, well, I got a lot of people who said that I helped them get back their kids. I don't care if I don't need approval to know that what I did is good, right? Sometimes you got to look at your own stuff and say, man, this junk is good, right? You got to stop and say, man, you know what? I fought, I looked for the knowledge and I put it into play and good stuff happened. I'm thankful, right? Even if you go up and you talk to a police officer and you break down some knowledge to show them something, to let them see that stuff is wrong, you've won that day because you've reached out to somebody who has the power to do something. The power not to take a little one with CPS. The power not to steal your car. The power not to help somebody steal your house. And you tell them the truth and you explain it to them in love. That was the second thing I want to talk about. Sometimes people who we deal with don't have the knowledge that we have. Y'all some smart mamma jammas. And some of the stuff y'all tell me, I'm like, wait, what? Dude, can you just break that down like into third graders so I can understand that again? Like you slapped me with some stuff so heavy, I didn't even understand. Like the first 3 words you said hit me so hard, I didn't get it. Can you please come back and teach me, right? Teach me what you said so I could really understand it. Because if you teach me what you're saying and I understand it, I got a grasp, I'll teach the world, right? I have no doubt that I'll teach hundreds of thousands of people the truth and we'll go win in a lot of stuff, right? You put me in front of people, I'll break it. If I understand it, I will break it down and I will help people to see it in a way that they'll feel like they can run through a brick wall. Why? Because you freaking can. When you're armed with knowledge, you're a monster, right? You're a monster. If you're going to use the knowledge and the understanding and you got wisdom, you're a monster. So I know that the way to take things to the next level, the way to get to where we need to be, the way to stop a lot of this wrong that's happening around us is to get other people the information. But first we have to be able to understand, and that don't take a long time. But what you do is you take everything that you're learning. You take what people say, you get an encyclopedia, a good one, you get some law dictionaries, and you read every word and you look at the variations of the words and you look and see what these people are saying. And then when you look at some of these statutes, you look at the statute and you look at the definitions, and you're going to see some funny stuff. But when you put all this stuff together, what ends up happening is that you're able to do more than you ever thought that you could do, right? You can do way more. So if you would have asked me 5 years ago when I'm doing all this crazy business, having fun, making money, building hot rods and all this stuff, hey Dave, do you think you'll be fighting against law stuff and helping people get kids back and helping people win traffic cases and doing all this stuff and studying law like a lawyer? I'm like, heck no. You know what's funny? I just thought about it. My mom, when I was younger, she was talking to my dad and she was watching stuff that I do and she was watching stuff that I've learned and she's observing me, and she said, she was talking to my dad and she said, hey, I think David is super, super, super smart. I think he could be a lawyer. And my dad said, heck no, he can never be a lawyer because he ain't gonna lie. He's not gonna lie for them. And so it's crazy that a lawyer is somebody who says the law, a law sayer. And an attorney is somebody who is this bar thing that, that may be compelled to freaking lie. Not all of them, but a majority of them are going to freaking lie to take from you and to take from the people. And so the thing is that I never thought that I would be somebody who studied the law so freaking hard, right? But I know that I've been able to step in and open up private membership associations and connect with people and help them to be able to fight. And so the thing is, guys, we can do powerful things. You can do powerful things. You are already powerful. Like, there's some of you who watch this whole video all the way through. Why? Because you're freaking powerful. Because you're looking for golden nuggets. Not everything I say is going to resonate with you, but some of the stuff that I say is going to hit you and you're going to get a golden nugget that's going to make you be able to think a little bit differently, to be able to aim your sail just a little bit more in a different direction that takes you to where you need to go to be the monster that you need to be. Some of y'all came on here having goals, aspirations, dreams. Some of y'all want to fight the fight, but you get a little tired. You don't know which way exactly to go. You don't know exactly how to do it. But being able to slow down and talk about serious things like the fear inside of you that you need to get out the way or you need to be able to overcome or fight through, right? Being able, that's right, Chad, being able to have conversations with somebody who you can connect to, who you can see, that you know is real. Some of y'all done been to court stuff with me. That's right, Justin. Guidance is key. Some of y'all done been to court stuff with me. Some of y'all done seen me fight through some of my hardest battles. And y'all know my heart. Y'all know that I say, look, I'm not giving up. Like, you can play all you want to. That's how I am. I'm like, look, you can fight me. You could think you took my little guys, but I'm going to destroy your whole system. And a lot of people in the nation and out of the nation know, like, dang, man, like, they should have just gave Dave his kids back, because this dude is so nuts that he'll seek out all the information, study law every day, and become the best to be able to destroy what they're doing. And people can see damages from what it is that I've taught. Like I told you, I had a senator from New Hampshire come try to get me to teach him, a guy who became a judge. Thank you, Chad. And that's the thing, is that I believe that we need to be able to have our families with us, right? We need to, all right, Daryl, peace. We need to be able to have families with us. We need to be able to have joy, peace. We need to be able to be free from government. It's not even really government, it's private businesses, but private businesses acting as government to try to steal stuff from us. We need to be free from that. The people work too hard. We need to build up our kids. God gave us our kids to teach them, to build them up. And if we can't do it, that's a dang shame, because nobody else can do what we can do, And so I'm not the one to be the victim, Stuff happens in life. You go through fights and you go through battles. But if you stand up and pursue knowledge and wisdom and understanding, you can win. And I believe you will win. And so there's a million people who are going to be around you who are going to give you negative advice. A million people who are going to tell you you can't do it. But there's only going to be very few people that's going to be around you that say, you know what, you got it in you. You know what? You got the heart. You know what? You got the strength. You know what? You got belief in you. You got hope in you. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Here, push a little bit harder. Stay up a little bit later. Get up a little bit earlier. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. See, that's what a good coach does. When I played football or when I trained, like did a boxing training with a guy who worked with the Mayweather camp, and he had me do a 21-minute round on the first day. I'm like, man, 21-minute round with no break, going hard as heck. I don't think I could ever do that. We did it. Then the next time he had me do like a 50-minute round. I'm like, whoa, this dude ain't playing, but I feel good. I feel like I'm accomplishing. And so then after that, we would go an hour straight every single day. And I'm punching and kicking and punching and punching hard as heck. Lifting and punching, no breaks, like or 10-second breaks, you know. And I realized that I could do more than I could ever think. And this dude ain't God. This is a man who just knows that there's more in me than what I know. And so where I thought, man, I'm tired at like 5 minutes. Oh gosh, this is crazy. This guy made me so freaking tough that I would go 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, an hour straight, fighting hard. I mean, hard punches, hard kicks, lifting weights. I mean, literally just running straight through. And I realized, like, man, there's much more inside of me than what I gave myself credit for. There's much more inside of me than I could even think about, right? And so it's funny, I saw a Bible verse today in Ephesians that said, God is exceeding abundantly able to give you more than you can ask or think. And so I never thought that I would be learning all this stuff that I've learned. I never thought that I would be helping people get their kids back. I never thought that God would be using me for something else. But you know what? By God, I'm happy because he opened up doors for me to do things that I never even thought about. And I realized that it's not going to be just my little guys coming back. It's going to be all of our little guys coming back. We're going to see this thing just fall over. And it's going to come, you know, in such a powerful way that there's going to be nothing that these people can do but give us our kids back, because they're going to realize that everybody knows the jig is up. We can clearly see what's going on and ain't nobody playing no more. And so that's right. Pressure and perseverance equals power. That's the thing, y'all. Don't be feeling bad about going through something tough. Don't be feeling bad about not knowing. You better feel bad if you're too weak to ever try to know. See, don't be afraid of not having all the answers. Be afraid to not try to figure it out, right? Don't be afraid to freaking make a mistake or lose. Be afraid to not freaking try. See, you can exist or you can freaking live. You are not living if you won't make an attempt to get out there and do something. You are not living if you won't take a chance. You are not living if you won't go after stuff at a higher level. It's easy to stay at a low level. It's easy to sleep late. It's easy, you know, to not try. It's easy. It's easy to be a victim. It's easy to say I'm so sad and everybody listen to you because you got this pain, right? But being a victim is not where the freak is at. You know, being a victim is not where it's at. And you got championship qualities inside of you right now that you can use to make yourself a way better you. And don't freaking worry about all the success. You just worry about adding more value to yourself. It's valuable to know the truth. It's valuable to know how to fight. It's valuable to be able to help people. It's valuable to be able to open up doors that could not be opened. It's valuable to be able to know the law. It's valuable to be able to free people's little ones. It's valuable to be able to do all these things. Add those values to yourself, right? And when you add valuable stuff to yourself, you're going to be profitable at whatever you do, right? You're going to win. You're going to help some people and some people going to help you, right? You ain't going to be hungry if you give to other people, right? You're going to have a purpose if you give to other people. See, you'll never know what could happen if you don't do what you know you need in your heart. That's right. That's right. I mean, mountains could fall down that's in front of you just because you decided to go after it and try. Some person might say, you will never get that mountain out the way. You like, man, look, I invested in a dynamite company. I'm good. Right? Sooner or later, this thing is coming down, right? And that's the thing, guys, is that there's solutions to everything we need to fight. Like you'll see in the law, it says that it can't be a law without remedy. So the thing is that for every action that somebody do against you, there got to be a remedy too. So don't be believing that there's nothing you can do, right? You just didn't figure it out yet. That's the difference. See, people are too afraid to find the answer. Find the freaking answers. Pursue it with all you got. Don't worry about the end result. Worry about, not, don't worry, I'm sorry. Don't worry about the end result. Pursue wisdom. That's right. It always come back. And everything that you put out, right? Let's say if you plant a seed, you plant a seed, right? And a tree grows that gives you multiple amounts of fruit. So don't be afraid to put in the work. Don't be afraid to till the land and put some seeds in the soil, because the seeds that you put in multiplies. So you don't just get back what you put in, you get way more, you get abundance. So let's stop being afraid to go after it with everything we got. I don't want to keep y'all on all night. I enjoy having y'all on. I love y'all. I love talking to y'all, because I know when we have these talks like this is the stuff that I did before we start winning a ton of cases. I had a lot of talks. We talked about God. We talked about putting in the work. We talked about blessings. We talked about strength. We talked about fear. We talked about hope. We talked about deliverance. We talked about wisdom and understanding. And after we did all these talks, what did we see? We saw the people get built up. We saw the people gain strength. We saw the people gain hope. And when you got people that are full of hope, full of strength, full of knowledge, bad as a mamma jamma, right? When they come out and they're ready to get at it, they're going to affect a ton of change real fast. And that's what I got to get back to doing. I got to play my role. I got to do my part. Part of it is understanding the knowledge and breaking it down for people. But also, I need to make sure that I'm talking to the people to help you guys to see the things that you need to see in yourself that you don't see. To help you guys to have accountability and to push you and press you, just like y'all push me and press me. You know, Justin said, don't be afraid to plant a tree knowing you'll never enjoy the shade from it because your children will one day. That's right, too. That's right. That's some powerful stuff, guys. We got to love our children enough to go after this stuff. Let's stop being afraid and let's start seeking knowledge and wisdom, because the wisdom and knowledge is what will prosper you. All right? Right? So let's get it together, y'all. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for staying on. I can see clearly that you guys are people that are looking for solutions. You're looking for something in yourself. You want to be better. And the thing about wanting to be better is you realize that you don't like where you're at, and you know that you can go higher. And that's the thing, is that our biggest battle is within ourselves. Our biggest battle is looking at ourselves and saying, you know what? Yeah, I lifted this much weight today, but I can lift more tomorrow. Yeah, I did this, but I can do better. Yeah, I got strength, but I can be stronger. And we continue to have a desire and to be hungry and to fight and to push to do better. And it's not just doing better for us, it's also doing better for others, because we're trying to lift everybody up. So with that said, you guys are the best. You got strength. You got power inside of you that you ain't even touched yet. You got knowledge and wisdom waiting for you around the corner. Go get it. Eat it up. Get a bowl of knowledge and understanding and eat it like cereal. Pour some milk on that mud, right? And eat it like cereal. Because when you fill yourself with knowledge and understanding, it makes you strong. When you fill yourself with hope, when you listen to people who gonna lift you up, when you listen to people who gonna build you and give you strength and give you courage and share with you so that you can understand their fears and how they made it through. See, when we're real with each other and we teach each other and bring hope to each other, you too, Justin, when we do that, we can see a massive change in our world. And we can see individually great results and blessings. So don't doubt. Don't let nobody doubt you. Don't let nobody feed no foolishness into your ear about what you can't do and how you can't make it. You can make it. All right. You've already made it. Some of y'all have been through stuff that you should not be here. Right. You should be broken. You should be dead, but you ain't dead. You ain't dead. You ain't broken down. You still got life. You still breathing. You can still think. You can do the unthinkable. Bruce Lee broke his back and came back fighting and doing martial arts and doing stuff. People said, you'll never walk. You done. You're finished. He wasn't finished. He made the decision that I'm not listening to what you say. I'm going to continue to push. Don't believe people's garbage. Don't believe people's excuses. And don't let anybody trick you out of your destiny. You got a destiny, right? You got a dynasty to build. You're going to do something powerful. You're going to do something great. You are great. Don't let anybody trick you out of it. Don't let today trick you out of it. If you're somewhere where you feel like this is not where you want to be, you ain't got what you want to have. Don't let your circumstances today tell you that you can't be where you need to be tomorrow. Don't buy that junk. You're better than that. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Focus, gain knowledge and wisdom, and it will bring prosperity to you. And it's not just prosperity with money, but it'll be prosperity with health, prosperity with winning cases, prosperity with deliverance from things you're struggling, prosperity from sickness, right? If you get the knowledge and understanding, it will prosper you, all right? Knowledge and understanding will do it, all right? So I want you guys to seek out wisdom. I want to get back together tomorrow. I want to fight. I want to build you guys up. I want you guys to build me up. I want to be there for each other, and I want to make stuff happen. If I did not accept a friend request, please remove the request and send it again so I can let you in or whatever. If I ask you questions and you didn't talk, please just talk to me. Let me know you're real. Let's get together and kick some butt. Please share this video like crazy in your local yard sale groups, buy, sell, trade groups, barter groups, and just let people know that it's a message of hope, all right? I will catch you guys later. Y'all be cool. Once again, I'm going to say peace.